Folks, sorry, I had to. It's been like 30 videos since I've done a folks, but I think this one deserves it. Guys, if you haven't, go get on your laptop, your phone, your computer, while you're still watching this. Go to TCG Player. And go look up Outsiders, Dynasty for Flesh and Blood. It's a massacre. Insert Godfather meme, look what they've done to my boy. I really... Today's video isn't me coming on and just being like, I told you, I'm a genius. Where's my genius cap? I called it. That's not what I'm trying to come here and say. What I'm coming here to say today is this is just the start. This is the start of something I think is a long time a coming. And what I would highly recommend is Rudy has been in S tier video mode lately. Props off to him. His last 3 or 4 videos have been real bangers, okay? So, the whole point I want to address today is we don't know the value of these things. We don't have a clue. I made a video about print runs. So I find it funny to give you guys an idea. Dynasty went up before Outsiders, right? But if you know anything, Outsiders was the first one that was printed in 4 or 5 languages. So while in the total print number, I believe Dynasty is 1,000 more. I think it's 1,000 or 10,000. In reality, we have no idea how many from Outsiders on English booster boxes are printed. And that's something I've made this video, and unfortunately I got food poisoning this weekend, so I've just been completely wrecked. So this is the first video I'm making this week. But I've got this print run video that I just need to edit it. You guys know me, I don't like doing edits. So we don't even have a clue what the print run from Outsiders Up is in English. I'm going to make a wild speculation that it's 75K. That's going to be my speculation. Because if it's like 170 total, well, maybe it's 100K. I bet you it's close to 100K, but under 100K. So that means there's almost 70,000. There's almost double. A little less than double the amount of, let's say, Dynasty boxes. So these numbers are extremely fascinating. And then when we go and look at how many printings there are of Fab 1.0 and these unlimited, I don't think we're really aware of how rare or limited these 2.0 English boxes and other language boxes are, or like how few of the Marvels there are. And the market doesn't, it's not priced in, right? So I think, again, I don't want to get like too crazy, and again, I didn't go to college for any of this, right? And I'm not telling anyone to do anything. But again, this is just the start to what I think is coming. Flesh and Blood has the gameplay. It is a solid card game to play. Let me just put that out there right now. If I had to play, let's say, between Pokemon, Magic, and Flesh and Blood, I'd probably play Flesh and Blood. I enjoyed it, and I'll say this. I probably played more Flesh and Blood than Pokemon. I played very little Pokemon, and I've only played it digitally. But from, like Magic Arena to playing Flesh and Blood in person, I rather play, because no one plays Standard anymore, and I like Standard, right? So the only way I can play Standard is if I play on Arena. So if I had to take playing Standard on Arena or playing like Flesh and Blood in person in the huge tournaments, I'd pick Flesh and Blood all day. And also, I'm just going to throw this in there. I ranted and raved about I guess I've been doing it for this whole time now, about how if Magic is going to have cards, the prices be based on utility, they need to take that utility serious. And like the whole fact that they kind of like have like kind of downplayed tournaments and all that stuff and not made it as competitive, I thought that really hurt the utility pricing for Magic, right? And now we see, I just want to give, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to give Magic a little bit of props for putting the commander bracket in or whatever, because I think the most amazing thing about Flesh and Blood is the competitive scene. I think it needs to, so if any of you are aware, there's like Triton poker. It's like super high roller, super mega, whatever, like joke about the names, but it's basically like the highest cash amounts of like poker, and they do cash games and tournaments. And and they always do them in these weird like Macau and random places, and that's kind of where I see Flesh and Blood. They're always going to these weird international cities and stuff. So I kind of consider like Flesh and Blood like the high roller competitive. It's super competitive. So I like that though, and I think they need to kind of capitalize on that. And I just, again, guys, if you're maybe new here, you're not really familiar with Flesh and Blood, go buy some like just the theme decks or the blitz decks or whatever. Seriously, play the game. Go play the game. It's super fun. It's super enjoyable. Believe it or not, the reason we actually like do this, like the reason I do this is because I used to do crypto and stuff, and it's mindless. It's like there's nothing to it. It's not enjoyable, right? It's soulless. Believe it or not, I actually do this because I enjoy these things. Like if you can believe it or not, like collecting and stuff, it actually does bring me joy. That's why I do it. So it's not all just like robotic numbers and stuff. So go play Flesh and Blood. That's the theme of this video. Go play Flesh and Blood. And okay, well, if you're still here, I'm gonna give a shout out to, what is it, Bright Lights. I think that's what the set's called. That's probably the next one like I would get if I was you guys. It's on TCG Player for like $60. I know it's not a very good set, but if there's how many I think of there are printed of it, it's not going to stay at that price for long. So also Monarch First Edition, Tales of Aria, they're like sitting in like the 50s. Should they have been $800? No. Should they be $50? Probably not. But anyway, have a good one, guys. We'll see you around.